All right, welcome in to this week's episode of the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Matt Kobold, here with my guy, Max Faulkner. And for the first time on this podcast, finally making his debut today is our buddy Queef Wilson. Queef,
Hey,
what's up?
hey, how we doing, Quiz?
Doing great.
It's about time that you joined us, man. You know,
Yeah, I'm
I was
excited.
thinking back in the day you might be our first guest, you might be our second guest, definitely one of the first guys. But we're glad to have you on. What took you so
Yeah.
long though?
It's queefing. It's a simple way to put it. I was just queefing.
hence
just
why
queefing.
your nickname in our
Yes.
fantasy football league is Queef Wilson.
Yes.
Okay.
Everybody,
Yes.
Kobold introduces me to everybody as queef. So I ended up doing it too, just to get ahead of the game, just because they're not going to remember my first name. So queef, there you go. There you go.
Well, it's
Easier.
it's catchy.
It's a lot
It's
easier.
catchy.
Oh, yeah.
It's easy to remember. But if we watched last week's episode of the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast, we heard about a young man's bachelor party and a wedding that
Oh, yeah.
we were at, and it was this guy right here. So congratulations to you,
Hey.
Queef and Jamila. Tied the knot. Congrats, bro.
Hey, thank you.
Congratulations, broski.
Happy to be a part of the crew.
And you're also part of our fantasy basketball and fantasy football leagues. We mentioned last week how you were the runner-up for the poster boy for the calendar photo shoot.
So close.
Just barely
So
missing.
close.
A nippy pinch away
So-
there. Nippy pinch away.
With some tongs too.
Oh,
bringing
out some grilling tongs today, huh?
Sunday. Nice day to grill.
But before we get into sports talk, Max, I want to hear from you. What's going on, man?
Oh, nothing too much other than the fact that it's 9:00 in the morning here on a Sunday. Okay, normally we're on Wednesdays, everybody. Thanks for bearing with us as we're busy. We got things to do sometimes. My mom came down. I believe Cole Breezy, your parents came down.
Yeah, and with both mamas being in town, how are you supposed to do the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast with both mamas being in town?
I mean, I closed the door. I tried to lock it, and she's
My
still
door's
knocking
closed.
on it. I'm like, hey, Cole
My door's
Breezy, we can't do it this Wednesday. I mean, my mom's knocking on the door. She knows something's happening. Something's going on. So they're gone. My mama's gone now. You know, she's luckily safely home, and I think we're ready to jump on a morning episode here. I didn't even brush my teeth this morning, boys. Didn't even brush.
Jeez,
I got a cup of coffee.
little
Scummy. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of people like to brush their teeth and then drink coffee. Why would you do that?
No,
Why would
I
you do
agree.
that? Stains
Yeah,
your
I
teeth.
agree.
Drink your coffee
yeah.
first and then brush your teeth. Okay, you want
Oh,
a
yeah.
tip of the day? Coffee first, then you brush your teeth.
Good
That's
tip.
a good tip for the audience today. I have to agree with that. And just to wrap up our mama talk, I got to see Wilson's mama last week for the second time.
A lot of mamas.
Oh,
looks
yeah.
looks the same as she did when I met her probably 10 years ago.
Yeah, that's where I get all my good looks from.
Oh,
So
that's
shout out to
nice.
Mama
Yeah.
Bear.
Shout out to the
Mama Bear.
mamas.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out to everybody's mama out there. Give her a
But,
good kiss on the cheek.
But real quick, Old Breezy, before this podcast started, I saw your dad walk in, and I think I see something over your shoulder.
This one?
Yeah. I think there's a
wow.
nice sterile cream that can help
Well,
relieve some pain when you're
I-
chafing.
I guess we got quick 20-second promo here. Yeah, my dad's in town, and you know he's the poster boy for Dr. Serlins, the ointment for rashes and bed sores and whatever. If your gooch is raw after a long day mowing yards, you can put this on. But if we forgot, the quote from my dad is, "You go to bed crying like a baby, but you wake up a new man." And I'll sit here right now and I'll say I've used it in the past, and I can attest that it works. But yes, a new prop in the background today, Dr. Serlins. Let's not sleep.
It's perfect right between the thighs, you know, because a lot of people, sadly, these days have to walk and their thighs are just rubbing against each other. You know, we're not at that point where people have worked on their legs enough where it's kind of like the saddle. Okay, maybe everyone needs to buy a saddle. Okay, and just sit on that for an extended period of time, maybe 5-10 minutes a day, just to separate the legs. Maybe that would stop chafing. But if you can't do that, if you don't own a saddle, if you're not from Texas, then Dr. Sirloins is definitely a great alternative.
Queef Wilson, have you ever used this?
No, but I wanted to give it a try. That's for sure.
Oh.
Because I don't have a saddle. I was born in El Paso, Texas. Little tidbit of information.
You
there,
own a
but,
saddle. You own a saddle.
Don't own a saddle, sadly. Moved away when I was 2, so just a baby. But
He's an
no,
Indiana boy.
I've been asking. Hey, where's that ointment? Where's that ointment? Because when we're reffing, pick up USA, sometimes you get a little bit chafing down there. Not a good time. You got people bitching at you, calling you a dickhead.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to get rid of my chafing. So can you stop yelling at me, please?
That's all you're focused on. Okay. Well, maybe
Yeah.
I bring it to the gym on Tuesday. Maybe
That's
I bring it in.
That's a
Yeah.
commercial. I'm just thinking about a commercial for Dr. Sirloins is that you're hurting. Okay, you're up and down the court. You're hurting, and everyone's calling you a dickhead and like call the game. You're blowing it. Then it's halftime, and then someone hands you Dr. Sirloins. Like maybe it's big. What's that one commercial with the Pittsburgh guy says, "Hey kid," he throws his jersey.
Mean Joe Green.
Mean Joe Green. Get someone like Mean Joe Green toss these Dr. Sirloins. You rub that on, and then at the end of the game. Whenever at the end of the basketball game, everyone comes up to you and says, "Hey ref, good job today. You repped a good game today."
Oh yeah,
Dr. Sirloins.
I like that.
Yeah, we got to look into making that ourselves. We got to look into that. But damn it, we're a sports podcast here, so it's time to talk some ball, and we got a lot of ball to talk about.
Ooh, a lot of stories today. A lot of stories.
We're hitting the 3 major sports here. We're hitting the NBA, we're hitting the NFL, and we're finishing with the MLB. But I think we'd be silly not to start right here in Denver, Colorado with these Nuggets. Damn it. Kelly grabbed me a shirt for 10 bones on the street yesterday. Got a fresh shirt of the team. Nuggets are up 3-1. Coming back here tomorrow night, Game 5, Monday night in Denver. If you watched last week's episode on YouTube, the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast, you heard Max and I both say Nuggets in 5. Max, are you getting off that, or do you think the Joker and Murray coming back home, can they close it out tomorrow night?
They're closing it out tomorrow night. Okay, they're coming home, baby. They're coming home. This is the crowd that they want to do it in front of, obviously. There's going to be a party Monday night. Nobody parties on Monday night unless the Nuggets win the NBA Finals. There's going to be cars are going to be tipped over. Fires are going to be burning all over the place because the Nuggets have never won before. Fucking Coors Field is going to be destroyed because the Rockies suck anyway. So why not just destroy that field? So, hey, go Nuggets. They got this in 5 games.
Wilson, we see Jimmy Butler here averaging under 22 points per game in these finals. Did he run out of gas?
It's got to be that, because what was that against the Bucks? He's scoring 56 points. Everybody's saying he's Michael Jordan's son. Rumors, allegedly, but
alleged rumors.
But now it's just the role players. Caleb Martin I feel like he hasn't done anything what he had been doing in the previous.
I'll stop you right. I'll stop you right there. We talked about Caleb Martin on this podcast, and Max, you predicted maybe the finals was where this juice was gonna run out for him. In these 4 games, he's averaging 6.8 points and 4.3 boards. God. He's dealing with an illness, but he has not shown up. Wilson, keep going.
Yeah. Well, and it's just with the way the Nuggets are playing. It seems like the role players are playing well on the road. Aaron Gordon, 27 points. A nice X factor for them. So it seems like they just have a well-rounded team. It's just too much for the Heat, because everybody's been saying, "Oh, it's just Jimmy, Bam, and a bunch of role players," and that's kind of what it is over there. And the juice is just running out.
You mentioned a few guys that I want to hit on real quick. Aaron Gordon, one of those role players. He's averaging in these finals 16.5 points, 7.5 boards, 3.5 assists, playing defense on Jimmy Butler, locking him down. He said he came to Denver. He put his ego to the side. He's playing what role the Nuggets need him to play, and he's going to be rewarded with a ring.
Yeah.
You mentioned Bam. Bam came to play this series, 22 and 12 a game, almost 4 assists. And another role player that you didn't mention, Wilson, my guy Christian Brown from Kansas, Game 3 on the road, 7 of 8 shooting, 15 points off the bench, had a big tomahawk dunk on the break. Christian Brown is not afraid of the spotlight. Max, what do you got for me on any of those role players?
I don't know who Christian Brown is. So
The white guy from
Some white
Kansas
dude,
last year.
some white dude, some random white dude.
the only guy that I'm remembering from Kansas last year is Braun.
It's spelled Braun, but it's pronounced Brown.
Oh,
Christian
that is
Brown.
him. That is
First,
him.
first
Sorry.
round pick of the
Sorry.
Nuggets.
Sorry. Okay.
Sleeping.
Well aware then. Well aware. All right. Excuse me. It's early. All right. It's 9:20 in the
Too
morning.
early.
All right. Give me a break.
Did you get any crispy bacon? You were talking about limpy bacon before this. Did you get any crispy?
Hey, I don't know who the hell likes limpy bacon.
I'm
You
with
know?
you.
Oh
I'm
no,
gonna do it.
you don't go to a breakfast and say, hey, you know what? I barely want you to fry that bacon for me. Why don't you just pull it out of the pack and put it on my plate? Okay, I like it raw and soggy.
All fat and rubbery.
Mm.
Get out of here.
We see Nikola Jokic with that. Was it game 3 with 32 points, 21 boards, and 10 assists? The first 30-20-10 game in finals history.
Yeah.
He's averaging 31, 13, and 8 for the series. And then we got Jamal Murray balling. He's the first player in finals history to have 10-plus assists in each of his first 4 career finals games. He's averaging 23, 6, and 10. These guys have a partnership, a duo like maybe no other in the NBA right now. These guys are both distributing, they're both scoring, they're both dominating.
Mm-hmm.
Denver on the series, they're plus 31 on the boards. We talked about this last week. The size
Plus
of
31
the Nuggets.
They're beating
Crazy.
they're beating Miami by 31 rebounds. I said 12.
Rebounds.
I said 12, and I thought that was a lot. 31 rebounds. That's why they're winning tomorrow night.
When
They're
you
gonna
got
win.
when you got 6'9" Aaron Gordon, 6'10" Michael Porter, 7-foot Jokic going against Bam, who's 6'9", Caleb Martin, Jimmy Butler, those Cody Zeller. I know you love Cody Zeller, Queef, but he's not doing anything. Okay.
Good role player.
Plus 31 on the boards. Denver's also shooting 51% from the floor in the series, and they've taken 29 more free throws. They're more aggressive.
Yeah. Just a better all-around team. Cody Zeller, real quick. Just want to bring him up. I definitely saw him flop lots with Nikola Jokic. Of course, they're going to get some calls. Of course, the referee's got to call that every once in a while for whatever reason. But then, like when you're watching it live, you know for a fact that was a flop. And then when you see the replay and you see Cody Zeller's face, just like flail, like he just came in his pants. Like
he busted, huh? He busted.
Yeah. There's no other way to guard him, apparently. Just a little squeal. Just a little squeal. That's all you need.
Anything to defend your boy Zeller?
Well, I mean, I'm just happy he's still in the league. That's all I got to say. Because back whenever it was the IU days, Oladipo, Yogi Ferrell,
that was a fun
they
one.
played against, I think it was Syracuse in the tournament, and they just got manhandled. And him specifically, he didn't know what he was doing. He was getting low. He was just shriveling right back into himself. And I'm happy he's in the league. That's all I got to say. Is nobody's going to be doing well against Jokic at this time. He deserved the 3rd MVP, and he's proven why he deserved it. So, not much he can do.
Yeah.
And if he's not hitting, then like what you were saying, he's facilitating Murray. So that the team is just too good.
Do we give Miami any chance to bring it back to South Beach for Game 6? Any chance?
I feel like if Butler gets over like 40 points, maybe they have a chance, but he needs to stop doing whatever the hell he's doing and just shying away, because that's their guy. That is their guy, and he's not doing anything for him. Watching the replays, watching the game, he's slow on defense. He's not really, it just doesn't look like he has enough gas. So like we said earlier,
I think he ran out of juice. Aaron Gordon's size is bottling him up. Max, any chance this game goes back to South Beach, this series?
I don't think so, boys. I don't know what the motivation is anymore. I don't think it's just winning. So I don't know. What does Miami have to offer them to be like, hey, let's bring it back to South Beach? You know, is it cocaine? You know, Miami's got a lot of cocaine. I know that. So maybe that'll motivate some of the players. Other than that, Denver is not a huge party city like Miami, right? So you got to bring the party to them. So, you know, talk talk to Spoelstra and the head guy Pat Riley. Maybe they can get you some cocaine.
Yes, Pat Riley and Spoelstra have a plug down there. Probably.
For sure.
Wilson, I'll be downtown Lake Street, Rhino District tomorrow night for this game. I would love for you to join me, and my parents are definitely going to join, but
Oh yeah.
I'm getting an Uber for them before the game's over. Sending my parents back home before the game's over, before the cars get tipped and the light poles get taken down and buildings get burnt. It's going to be a rowdy one downtown Denver tomorrow night, and I'll be there.
Yeah,
So
I'll be there as well. Gotta be.
So we brought this up with Cobrizi. We'll bring this up with you, Wilson. Did you plan on your shirt and pants, just disappearing, not knowing what happened to them? Cobrizi said a shirt is a given, but the pants, are those coming up too?
I feel like I'll keep the pants on. I don't know how strict they are with some of the laws down in Denver, but we are in Denver, so who knows? Anything goes. But I would say for sure a shirt, maybe a couple socks, maybe a shoe. Pants,
okay.
I think pants are a given. They'll stay on.
And you kind of wish you were in Miami now, right? You could probably be flopping titties or all over the place, just running around naked. Nobody cares. Nobody
Maybe
cares.
we should bring
Miami.
some beads. Just tossing some beads everywhere. Hey.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Well, Beezies are going to be rolling. Brews are going to be flowing. Titties going to be bouncing tomorrow night. Downtown Denver, Colorado. We'll see you there, Queef.
You will.
All right. Let's move into another segment. We got some rumors out of Phoenix, Arizona. We got the Suns thinking about parting ways with Chris Paul.
Oh, yeah.
What is your first opinion on that, Max?
I think it's time. I think it's time for him to go somewhere. How old is this guy? 38?
I think so.
He is 38 years old, has played 18 seasons.
I love Chris Paul, but he's got bad hamstrings. That leads to bad knees. He probably can't get up anymore. He can't get the rebounds like he used to in the past. This is a young team. I liked his leadership. He got them to an NBA Finals 2 years ago, right? 2.
Yep.
So, but if they get rid of him to be able to get maybe a higher draft pick, maybe to get a younger player to go into that position, I can understand why.
Wilson, he averaged 14 points, 4 boards, and 9 assists last year. Pretty solid numbers. Do you want that as your point guard?
I feel like, I don't know, because we have Halliburton on the Pacers. If you don't see the hat, you can barely see it. So we have Halliburton. So he's like the new age point guard. So I'm set. I don't want him. But the Suns, what's going on with them? I know Chris Paul he had some injuries in the playoffs, but you got Devin Booker and Kevin Durant. Like you were saying, it's a younger team. So I think it is time to definitely move on. Because that team, I just don't know how all that firepower, and then they just fizzled out. They didn't get swept, but it was in 5, right? They lost to the Nuggets.
Gentleman's sweep, yeah, I believe
that's
5.
ridiculous.
Maybe 6.
But regardless, like they were the favorites. I feel like almost before the trade with Durant, and then I want you to get him. Like it's just crazy. So yeah, I am not touching him. Lakers probably will touch him. Have a 38-year-olds. I think LeBron is 38. Put those two on the same team with the glass-made Davis. That'd be a good combo or trio.
Yeah, good luck.
I can see that.
Good luck with that, Lakers. You mentioned the playoff injuries. It seems like he's hurt every playoffs. I'm not sure how many games he even played against the Nuggets. We saw Monty Williams get fired, I believe, 2-time Coach of the Year in his 4 seasons there. Bring in our boy Frank Vogel. Queef, what do you got on Vogel for us?
He's a great coach. Got a bad beat at the Lakers. Anybody that is LeBron's coach, they end up getting screwed over. Darvin Ham is probably gone middle of the season next year. Gone it now, hot take. But I think that's a good spot for him because he deserves to be a coach. He was great with the Pacers. Lakers, they won the championship with him, correct? He was the coach, so why they get rid of him? Who knows? LeBron again. But no, I think it's going to be a great shift for them. But I feel like he would want to keep Chris Paul because he's big on defense. So I don't know. It's big toss up, really, what's going on over there because I don't think they even know. what they're gonna do. Because you get
Yeah.
rid of Paul, who you bringing in?
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of options, but I feel like they don't have any draft picks because Durant. So
No, yeah, they gave up all their picks for Durant.
they're in a bad spot.
Might not need a point guard with that starting unit, with all the
True.
ball handling that Booker and
True.
KD is going to do. Maybe
True.
have a point guard come off the bench.
Maybe have
the
a defensive player. Maybe
Yeah.
get a younger defensive player that can actually play some D against the point guards. You don't want two old dudes on the team. Okay, sorry, two injury old prone players. Okay,
Yeah.
Kevin Durant, he misses at least 20, maybe 25 games a year, and then I would say the same thing with Chris Paul, if not more. So why would you want both of those on your team? You got to get rid of one of them.
Yeah,
You're gonna get rid of Chris Paul.
The decision to waive him is not yet final as we sit here right now on Sunday morning. He's got 2 years remaining on his 4-year, $120 million deal he signed with Phoenix. 15.8 mil guaranteed next year out of 30.8. And he's got no guaranteed money in 2 years. So this could be a situation where they maybe stretch him out, maybe waive him and sign him back on a shorter deal, a smaller deal. Who knows? Chris Paul, Hall of Fame point guard, top 10 point guard for sure. We got it. It's a discussion about top 5. We don't need to get into that today, but definitely in the discussion for top 5 all-time point guard.
Absolutely. I can agree with that. I loved watching Chris Paul back in his prime days. I loved him in New Orleans, and everyone loves him on the Clippers when he Lob City.
Lob City.
That was fun. That was fun.
Great time.
A suitor for Chris Paul, possibly some rumors going around that the 38-year-old veteran point guard could link up with the French phenom Victor Wembanyama in San Antonio.
Oh,
Wilson, what do you have for us on that?
Well, the source is me. I don't really have a good source on that one, but when you do think about it, I mean, he's coming in. They got a young team, sloppy team. They've I think been out of the playoffs for the past like 5 years, but
at least
with Wemby, I mean that's a great combo. He gets the veteran leadership with Popovich there. Again, 38 years old, so he's probably got maybe a year or two, and he's going to be gone a lot. But the veteran leadership would be nice. But again, I don't know if there's really truth to that, but the source is me and a couple other people randomly online. So it'd be cool to see it. But again, Paul, I think he definitely wants to be a contender because that's the last thing on his mind is getting a chip because he came out recently. His daughter's getting bullied at school at the lunch table saying your dad's never going to win a championship. And then that story comes out. And then like a day later or two, then the Suns say, hey, we might waive you. So it's just not looking good for Chris Paul right now. So I definitely think he wants to get on a contender and win a chip. But again, who wants him? He's 38 years old, injury ridden. So it's gonna be fun to watch where he goes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think the Spurs want him, but who the Spurs do want with the number 1 pick in this year's NBA draft is a no-brainer. The French superstar Victor Wembanyama. Now, his height is listed all over the place. I've seen it ranged from 7'2" to 7'9". Now that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. So I'm going off of ESPN, the Worldwide Network here. Okay. Got to go with ESPN. They got him listed at 7'5", 220. He is 19 years old, wears a size 21 shoe.
Oh, shit.
This guy turned pro in France when he was 15 years old. People are calling him the best prospect since LeBron. Jay Billis, one of those people. Shout out Jay. Last year in the French league, he led the whole league in points, rebounds, and blocks. This guy's a franchise changer. He's the number 1 pick in the draft. Is a no-brainer. I can't wait to watch him play. Max, what do you think about what I just said?
You know, all I hear is the talk because I haven't seen him play yet. He plays for France, so I don't say I watch a lot of French basketball. So I have no idea about what this guy is going to be able to do when it comes to the NBA. You say he's 220 pounds? From the pictures that I've seen, he looks very thin. His arms look like this pen. All right. So bulk up a little bit because Nikola Jokic and Joel Embiid and even LeBron James, they're gonna just give you a little shoulder check. to welcome you to the NBA, and you're going to be bruised up. So yeah, he's got to start bulking up a little bit. But that's all I know about this guy. I don't know what he can do. Can he shoot? Is he a high percentage free throw shooter? Do
Yep.
that too?
He's like I feel like he's like a KD. He's
a
a
okay.
slender.
Yeah.
He's slender man, but just taller.
Got it.
And he's very agile. If he can stay healthy, I feel like he can become kind of like a Kevin Durant, just taller. But again, you got to beef up like Giannis did. You can't stay like Kevin Durant and just be a slender man, which he made a great career, obviously still going, but you got to get some muscle on there if you're going to be the big man.
No doubt about it. We see Chet Holmgren last year come in, and he playing in a summer league game, a pro-am game in Seattle, and LeBron steps on him and he breaks his foot and he misses his whole rookie year. So hopefully that's not what we're dealing with here with Victor.
Right. 220 is pretty big. 220 is pretty big.
At 7'5",
I feel like he's got to be 190. He's got to be 190. They're lying.
He's very I agree.
Frail body.
I saw a picture of him with Rudy Gobert, because Gobert's from France.
Yeah.
Standing next to each other, and Victor towered over Rudy Gobert, and Rudy Gobert is not a small man.
No.
7'2".
Yeah.
So
Victor looked a lot bigger than Gobert. You want to talk about highlights? Wilson, did you see the highlight where he missed his three, grabbed his own rebound in the air, and tip dunked his own missed three?
I don't know. I've seen a couple of highlights. Can't remember which one or which, but anytime I do see one, it's pretty insane. Just a guy that big is able to just move around like he's a small forward, just like a 6'5" small forward. It's effortless to him. So yeah, I don't doubt it that he did it. I'm excited to see what he does, because everybody that's talking about him being the best prospect. I think someone on ESPN said that he was the best prospect that NBA has ever had, which, let's not get crazy. LeBron James.
Let's settle
LeBron
down.
James hater. Go Pacers. Fuck LeBron.
Yeah, fuck LeBron.
You can't disrespect him like that. I mean, he is the second best player. Michael Jordan's still the first.
Yeah.
But yeah, Wemby, he's got it. He's got some superstar playability. So
I seen this guy palm a basketball with his middle finger and his thumb. Palmed it with his middle finger and his thumb.
That's pretty impressive. That's very impressive. One thing that I will say, because we got it in the comments section when we brought up Victor not too long ago, a few weeks ago. Don't know this guy is from France or anything, but he actually left in the comments section that Victor is an injury-prone player. So I don't know how much he knows. I don't know where he's getting his insight from, but hey, look out. We just brought up Chet Holmgren. Just bringing it up.
It's definitely something to look at, because him being professional at age 15, that's pretty insane. I feel like out there in the Europe leagues, like, it's a little bit more physical. Like, it's just a different ball game over there, because you don't have the people flopping like you do in the NBA.
Yeah,
but
they play defense a little bit more.
Yeah. So he's 19 now. He's been in the league, or been in a professional league, for 4 years. Like, that's a lot of time. It's like the AAU kids nowadays. Everybody's hurt. Everybody's coming in because they just play nonstop basketball. Yeah. You don't get a break. You don't go out and play football every once in a while. Like, it's definitely something to look at, again, because he is a slender man. Yeah. Go boy, Jam.
Good points there. But I think it's no doubt that the San Antonio Spurs are taking Victor Wembanyama with the number 1 pick in this year's NBA draft.
The NBA draft is coming up 2 weeks.
June 22nd. Thursday.
Coming up.
Wow.
Moving along here today on the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast, we got breaking news. We got Dalvin Cook released from the Minnesota Vikings. This guy is a stud running back. He's been a keeper in our fantasy league by Queef Sam, who, if you don't know, is the back-to-back Queef of the year. So maybe Dalvin Cook has a lot to do with that.
Could be.
But he's 28 years old. He's played 6 seasons in the league out of Florida State. He's had over 1,135 rushing yards each of the last 4 years, with 43 tutties on the ground.
A lot of touchdowns
in 4 years.
That's a lot of touchdowns.
He's had 34 plus catches each of the last 5 years. So he's catching some balls. Okay. The Vikings tried to trade him. Couldn't find a trade partner on Thursday for Dalvin Cook. So just released him. Wilson, what's your thoughts on this?
Well, first thought is it's a damn shame. Obviously, you see, I'm a Colts fan, so I got Jonathan Taylor in my back pocket. So it pains me to see these running backs just getting tossed by the wayside. 4 seasons of 1,100 rushing yards. These past 4, Pro Bowler. He's a superstar. I saw it against the Vikings where they had the largest comeback in NFL history against the Colts, and he was balling. I hadn't seen much of him, but that's all I needed. Like, he had the home run ability. He was just flinging people off of him like they were rag dolls and just kept going. So to see this happen, it really is a damn shame because there's only like a few running backs that get paid a lot. And I think the last one or the big contract was Zeke. And I mean, he fell off hard, but
Yeah.
I think that stained all the owners, the general managers that were just like, oh, well, we don't need him. Because if you look back, I feel like since 2009, there's not been a superstar running back at all. Like on the Super Bowl winning team, there's not been a superstar. You got the Chiefs, Damian Williams in 2019. He was getting paid $1,050,000. That cheap of a contract. And then this past year, Pacheco, he was undrafted, right?
Yep.
It's just insane to see that superstar. And then you got the Titans too. Derrick Henry the Titans can't do anything with him. So it's just a shame. It really is.
Yeah. Yeah, no, oh God.
Have some respect for the king.
29 going on 30. 29 going on 30, Cole Breezy. Derrick Henry.
I think so.
You might have to pass that crown down.
Yeah.
On to the next heir.
Max, we see Dalvin Cook's shoulders all fucked up, so that might have had something to do with it. Those stats are pretty nice. Give me some landing spots for Dalvin Cook. Who do you think is going to pick this guy up and plug him in?
You know, as we were talking about Dalvin Cook, immediately I'm trying to think of teams. I don't know if I can name a team. I honestly have no. It's gonna have to be a scrub crap team. Like Houston.
They got Dameon Pierce there. They just drafted. They like him.
Ball. Yeah.
But how about I start you right here in Denver, Colorado with the Broncos?
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah. Wait, hold on a minute. What about what's his name?
Javonte Williams.
Javonte Williams. I know he got hurt, but
still coming off that ACL. I don't think he's going to be ready.
Oh, he's not going to be ready. Okay.
They released Melvin Gordon, correct?
Released Melvin Gordon. Latavius Murray was running around last year in the game we went to, week 17, but
that's a good sign.
Is he still on the team? Because I know he used to be a Saint with Sean Payton. So I thought it'd be a good connection to keep him. He's a veteran guy. Every year he just gets picked up by some team and does well. He's usually on my fantasy team. Doesn't mean much because my team sucks, but he helps out a little bit. That's for sure.
He's probably still here. I'll throw out a couple more teams here. We saw him post a picture of him in Miami when he was playing the Dolphins, so that's something that was leaked to the Dolphins. And Wilson, before you throw out a team, I'll just throw 3 more out possibilities: the Bears, the Bucks, and the Rams.
Oh wow. I've potentially heard the Bills, but again, those are stupid sources because you already have his brother James Cook, and with the way the running back market is, you don't want to pin them against each other.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of like with Max, it's terrible again to see these running backs because no team, like obviously there's several teams that need a superstar like Dalvin Cook, but nobody's going to take him. The Dolphins and the Broncos, do they even have cap space? Especially the Broncos. Do they have time or do they have enough money to grab him? And then the Dolphins, Mike McDaniel said just the other day, he said, "You're not going to get this guy. I'm in year 2, okay?" is what he said whenever reporters were asking him. And then he went on to talk about he was day 3 at the vet mini camps. So it'd be cool to see him there because that'd be a dynamic team that's already crazy. But I got Mostert, Jeff Wilson, Myles Gaskin still. Again, those aren't like superstars, but in today's world, you need a couple running backs in your backfield that are getting paid cheap. That's the only way to win, it seems like.
I do kind of like your comment on the Bears, though, Cole Breezy, because the Bears aren't that deep at running back. Khalil Herbert's going to be taking over the role. They drafted a a second string running back from, was it Texas or Alabama? Anyone know? No, I think it was
can't
Texas.
remember.
I want to say it was Texas. I'll get back to you on that. But yeah, if you get Dalvin Cook in there for a little bit of leadership because we're a young team, I like it. And it seems like the NFC North, they always just transfer running backs. They kind of just move them around. I mean, David Montgomery's on the fucking Lions now.
Yeah.
Adrian Peterson went to the Lions when he was on the Vikings. They kind of just flop them around.
Jamal SpongeBob Williams from the Packers to the Lions.
Oh yeah.
So I like the Bears idea. I could see them trying to get some senior leadership. But how much is he going to cost? That's the question.
Yeah,
that's the real question.
All right. Now, staying in the NFL, we got more breaking news. We got some gambling rumors out of Indianapolis, Indiana. And we got Queef Wilson here. He's got boots on the ground here in Indy. Isaiah Rodgers has been on the apps. He's been gambling. He's been putting down wagers. Wilson, let us know here. What's going on?
Let me give you a quick backstory on this player because I'm biased to this player. He's a great player. We don't have a lot of corners this year, so he was set to be a starter. Lost Stephon Gilmore. Kenny Moore's kind of a bum now, but hopefully he turns around. So he was supposed to be the guy, starting corner on the outside, going against the best receiver, and he's just fumbled it. He just fumbled the opportunity. It's fourth-year corner. This is a contract year. Again, going to be the starter, could get a big payday at the end of it, but he said no. The reports that I see, ESPN Stephen Holder, great follow on Twitter if you haven't already, and then David Purdom said, this is what the sportsbook said, or what they reported. The sportsbook account was opened under the name of an associate of Rodgers, the sources said. Approximately 100 bets, 100, were placed on the account over an undisclosed amount of time. So who knows how long. But back to the quote, including on Colts games, don't know if it was for or against, but most of the bets were in the $25 to $50 range, although there was at least one low four-figure bet. So this guy, I don't know what there is to say. Like, I had so much hope for him. Great dude. Follow him on Instagram. Like, he seems like a cool dude, but he does this, and everybody's saying, oh, he made such a mistake. He's a young player. Give him some grace. It's not a mistake. This is a dumbass decision. And I love this guy. Mm-hmm. Dumbass decision. Because you got Calvin Ridley, who deposited $1,500 and bet on NBA and on the Falcons to win while he was on IR, and he gets an entire year. So what's going to happen to this guy? Who knows? Because he's got, like, it's over. It's gone. He's probably not playing in the NFL again.
Wow.
And it's just a shame to see because there's so many warnings, like in the locker rooms, in the facilities. You have these people. You got the Lions people who were betting on college games. Jamison Williams got suspended 6 games, but there's just no hope for this guy. Like, it's really sad to see he came out, did an apology where he says, oh, I take full responsibility. I made all these mistakes. Nobody wants to hear it. You're done. It's over. I got nothing more to say on that. It's just terrible. It's a damn shame.
About a month ago here on the Don't Tell Mama Sports podcast, we talked about Iowa and Iowa State, their athletic programs, their student athletes gambling. And we said that this is just the beginning. This is just the start of it. And now we have Isaiah Rodgers here with over 100 bets involving the Colts, involving the team that he's playing for. Max, there's a rumor out there that he was putting player prop bets on Matt Ryan to throw interceptions. What do you think about that?
I think he won a lot of money on that.
Yes, he did.
But it's just so stupid. Like, it's just so stupid because it's like steroids in the MLB, right? Why would you take them? Because you're going to get caught. Yeah. You're going to get caught. And yet people still do it for whatever fucking reason, which is to try to boost their stats a little bit. In this case, it's not boosting any stats. You're already making millions of dollars. So why do you have to bet more money to try to make more money? when you could potentially just lose all that money in the first place. Man, it's just stupidity. Wilson, you already brought up everything that we need to know about this. This is stupidity, and this guy's going to get suspended. It's simple as that. You said that he might not even play again. We'll find out. We'll find out, because I know they could be very lenient. You know, when you hear about like Deshaun Watson and stuff, right? You know, he might be back in a year. So we'll see. You know, at least he didn't hurt anybody, but other than Matt Ryan's feelings.
Yeah. Well, keep going. Sorry.
That just real quickly, that brings up how screwed up the NFL is. Calvin Ridley gets a full year suspension for betting on a couple games, but Deshaun Watson sexually harasses, 24 females and gets 13 games.
Allegedly.
What's that about?
Allegedly,
but still,
what's that about?
I get it from the standpoint of you don't want the gambling stuff to come up now that it's so prevalent with everybody, but it doesn't make any sense. Like, I know you got to make examples out of people, but it really doesn't make any sense.
Anything else about Isaiah Rodgers and his gambling addiction?
I hope he learns. I hope he just learns.
Yeah, like what you were saying, Max. I mean, you make so much money. He's due for $2.77 million this year. Obviously, it's probably cut in half because of agents and all those taxes. But
sure.
It just doesn't make any sense. And again, contract year. The guy, going back to Dalvin Cook, there's a play where he's trying to save a touchdown and he just gets pushed by the wayside. So maybe he bet on that game. Maybe that's the one. And he was like, oh, I'll let him get this one. And so maybe that's what he did. Maybe at halftime did a live bet, said Vikings. And maybe he did that. I wouldn't say so, because our defense was the bright spot of our team last year. So even though we were trash, but yeah, it doesn't make any sense why all these players keep continuing to do this, thinking they're going to get away with it.
I don't know.
Moving on to a little more football talk.
Oh,
some soccer.
Not. I'm sorry, not football. You said
football.
First time. Put a little accent into it.
Football. First time here on the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast. We're talking a little soccer. Max, what do you have on us about Messi?
Lionel Messi. The reason we're bringing this up, I know we don't talk a lot about football. It's called football, Cobrizi. Everywhere in the world it's called football. It's called football. Here we call it soccer because we suck at it. Honestly, we suck at football. The reason we're bringing this up is because you don't have to be a sports fan to know who Lionel Messi is. Everybody knows the name. You see a kid wearing a jersey, you know, oh, that's the guy from Argentina, right? That's one of the greatest soccer players of all time. Everyone knows the guy. Okay. But what's just the reason we gotta not only bring this up to say, hey, congratulations on a big sign that he is apparently going to Miami. We'll talk about that in a second. But the fact is that you go from being the best football player in the entire world to playing in the worst football league in the entire world. Okay. You went from playing world football to now playing American soccer. Okay. Just bringing it up. Now, I know he's 35 years old. 35 years old. He's getting older. He probably can't keep up anymore. That's just how it goes with football. All right. As the years go on, younger players are going to take advantage of you, basically. But this guy did win the 2022 World Cup. Okay, the previous World Cup that we just had, Argentina won with them. Everyone was stating because he won the World Cup with Argentina, he is now officially the best the best football player to ever play the game. We'll talk about that in a second as well. So apparently he signs with MLS Inter Miami CF. Okay, so after leaving Paris Saint-Germain, and he's signing with Miami for 2.5 years. 2.5 years. That's kind of the half. That's what I'm interested about. The half year. I'm like, I don't know. That was like, so like mid-season, he could just be like, peace. I'm done. See you later. All right. Hey, by chance, do you guys know who the co-owner of this Miami team is?
David Beckham.
David Beckham. All right. Is this not the exact same story that David Beckham had, where he was one of the best in the world, couldn't play anymore, so he comes over to American soccer, plays for the Los Angeles Galaxy, okay, and nothing happened. he didn't do anything here. Like he got some hype, like, oh, David Beckham's coming. Oh, like the ladies were, oh, he's so hot. But other than that, he didn't really do anything. He didn't do anything here. Just signed a couple of years. Just probably made some money. So, it's an interesting sign because I don't know how much money he's going to make. Maybe one of you guys have the stat on that. I think Wilson, you said something. Yeah. What's going on with that?
Yeah, the contract, like you said, it's very similar to David Beckham because he came over, wanted to get like an ownership stake, get paid crazy amount of money, and that's why these older superstars in the Europe leagues come over. That's their only plan, is to make a lot of money. But the deal he got, there's a couple little bullet points I got. It's a percentage of sales from the Apple's MLS season pass, which crazy deal now. It's like a 10-year deal on Apple to be streaming all those games. So a lot of money to be had there. A percentage of Inter Miami shirt sales, because he's going to bring in so much revenue there, an ownership stake in the club, and like I said, the deal that Beckham had back when he signed it in 2007, it gave him a $25 million option to purchase an expansion franchise, which he exercised in 2018 to get a part of Inter Miami. So crazy that connection is going to happen, and then he's annually making $53 million. And the current highest paid in the MLS, another international superstar, Shaqiri, he's at just over $8 million. So you got $8 million down here, and then Messi comes in $53 million. So the money is high, big time.
Damn. Okay.
The money's rolling. Max, what do you got for us about that?
Just from everything that you just named out, it now makes sense why he's doing this. Hey, Miami. Hey, MLS fans. Sorry, he's not here because he's excited to play American soccer, right? He's here because he's going to make a shit ton of money. And I get it. You're 35 years old. You won a World Cup. You're the best to ever. We'll talk about this, but potentially the best to ever play the game. How about we just, kind of just play lackadaisically and make $53 million a year for 2.5 years. Plus you got stake ownership, yada, 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 everything that you name. This guy's set for life. Now, so real quick, some accomplishments, because let's hype Lionel Messi up. This is why I wanted to bring him up in the first place. He's such an incredible player. He has 806 career goals in 1,027 games for Barcelona, PSG, and Argentina. Now, he is, once again, considered one of the best to ever play the game. Between us, there is 3 players that are compared with him. It's Pele, it's Diego Maradona, and Cristiano Ronaldo. Out of these 4 players, who do you think is the best to ever play the game, guys?
Grief.
I'll let you go, Wilson.
Okay. I gotta say Messi. It's obviously the old superstars, Pele and Maradona, like they won their fair share of World Cups. It wasn't a struggle like it was for Messi and Ronaldo, but it's just a different game. You put on highlights and you see what Messi can do at 5'6". He had I forget what it was. I did a report on it back in college about Messi and like the stuff that he went through as a kid. Like he wasn't supposed to be anything like physically gifted. He wasn't supposed to be like that, but he turned out to be super fast, a superstar on the field. He's kind of like Steph Curry, where he's running around, everybody follows him. That it's just he's unstoppable. But I feel like Ronaldo would be a close second because those two have been dominant. That's why everybody always talks about, whenever you hear about Messi, you hear Ronaldo in the background. And but he's better, or this person's better. It's a crazy debate, but I feel like people, now that Messi got the World Cup, that's what he needed, and he got it.
Heck yeah.
I'm right there with you, Messi, after that World Cup, icing on the top. If there was any debate before, that kind of solidified it.
I hear you on that. I also got Messi, boys. It's funny because we bring up Cristiano Ronaldo. In his prime, Ronaldo was so fun to watch. Okay, so fun to see. But I think he's a kind of a prima donna now. I'm sorry to say it. Okay, but this is a guy he's a very selfish soccer player. I'm sorry. Football player. Okay. He's a very selfish football player. He proved that here in this past World Cup, where he was basically only about himself. He was focused, and then to the point where the coaches sat him. Okay. He was only focusing on himself. The World Cup's a team game, guys. Okay, this is the guy that thinks that he needs all the glory, he needs all the fame. Messi did not do that. He never did that. He just knows his talent, and he's able to work with the people around him. So, Lionel Messi, congratulations! You're the best player to ever play the game in our eyes, and we're excited to see you here in America. You know, make tons of money. Maybe the MLS will turn into maybe a more exciting football league rather than an American soccer league.
Hopefully. But since we were talked about Ronaldo and how selfish he is, or it can be, there was a lot of rumors about the deal that Messi could have done with Saudi Arabia, which is where Ronaldo went, another superstar, Karim Benzema, went. The offer that Saudi Arabia gave to Messi reportedly was 1.6 billion with a B, $1 billion over 3 years to get him to come out there. And he, that again, big time allegedly on that one, but he turned it down to come here. But Ronaldo, whenever he went to Saudi Arabia, he has the chances of getting 200 million per year. And Benzema, Karim Benzema, same thing. He's about to get 200 million per year. So a lot of money over there. And I know they're doing stuff with the live golf tournaments. Saudi Arabia has so much oil money. They're just throwing people. But that's something to really think about. He turned down 1.6 billion to come to the MLS. So hopefully, like you said, hopefully he can turn it around like Beckham kind of did, brought a little bit more publicity to it. But yeah, a lot of money just tossed around. So people talk about baseball, get in there, get those contracts.
Yeah.
Might have to do it with the MLS, or not the MLS, but just soccer.
Mm-hmm. Wow. That's a lot of money to turn down. He's looking at the long run, guys. He's looking at the long run. Okay. He wants to stay here. He probably wants to get a nice big mansion house in beautiful Miami.
Oh, yeah.
Or 5 or 6 houses all throughout America.
Probably.
So good. He sounds modest. Sounds like a modest man with $53 million a year.
Yeah.
All right. Moving along here in the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast, we're going to finish up with 3 baseball topics here. And when we do baseball, we always start just hitting on the standings real quick. And still with the best record in baseball, we got the Tampa Bay Rays at 47-20, leading the AL East with a plus 136 run differential. Max, what do you have on me with that division?
Man, best division in baseball. We said this every week. Everyone's above 500. Everyone is competing, but it's definitely going to be between the Tampa Bay Rays. And I still think that it's the Yankees that'll squeeze up there. I love that what the Orioles are doing, but we had a deep dive with them not too long ago. Their pitching sucks. Their hitting is mediocre. I think they're going to die down. So, well, it's going to be between the Rays and the Yankees.
Red Sox, 1 game under 500 now. Wilson, I know you like the Sox. Are they the basement of that division?
To tell you the truth, I have no idea. All I do know, go Red Sox, but all I do know is it's probably going to be the Rays because the way the Yankees played all regular season last year and then got in the playoffs and just dropped a nice goose egg. Aaron Judge, all the superstar players that they had. So I'm a Yankee hater as well, so this is probably where it's all coming from. But
Fair enough.
I would go with you, Max, and say that the Rays will probably end up pulling it out.
Moving on to probably the worst division in baseball, the AL Central. We still see the Twins just barely 1 game over 500. They have a 2.5 game lead on the Guardians. Anybody care about this division?
I will say one thing is that I knew the Guardians would be coming back. Okay. This division sucks, but I think this is the Guardians league, the Guardians division. I'm telling you. So look out. It's going to be the Guardians on top come second half of the season.
Wilson? I had to Google the division. I have no idea who's in it. And looking at it, a lot of teams that haven't really done much. So I'm just going to defer to you guys on that one.
Worst division in baseball. Moving on to the AL West, we got our Rangers. We're Rangers fans on the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast. They got a 5-game lead on the Astros.
Nice.
Plus 153 run differential. That's the best in baseball. Max, could the Rangers win it all?
The whole damn thing, or you think the division?
The whole thing.
Oh my goodness! Let's settle down.
Plus 153.
Let's settle down.
153.
All right. I do think they have an incredible team. I love the way the Rangers are playing. Jacob deGrom done for the season, getting Tommy John surgery. If you're a Rangers fan, oh, damn it. Damn it. Like, that's the last thing you want to hear is your ace pitcher that you signed to a big time, whatever millions of dollars that you spend on him. And he's done for not only this year, but probably the next season as well. Gosh, that sucks. Okay. One thing that maybe helps them out a little bit is that the Astros are going to be that second team in the division. Yordan Alvarez, their best player, has an oblique strain. He's on my fantasy team. I'm upset about it. It sounds like it's going to be 4 to 6 weeks. Okay. Ooh. That sucks. He leads baseball with RBIs with 55, and now he's out. So Rangers, take advantage of this as much as you can. Your pitching's doing very well. Your hitters are absolutely outstanding. Take advantage of the hurt Yordan Alvarez.
Anything from you, Wilson, on the AL West?
Again, I'll have to defer, but I did see the DeGrom stuff, and I saw rumors that he might not even play again ever. Like how bad the injury is. I saw the emotion on his face. I think they interviewed him, and it sucks. I don't know much about like baseball and pitchers, but I know that they're always scared of getting the Tommy John. I know Steven Strasburg back in the day, they were like, whoa, yeah. you're not about to be pitching a lot. We're putting you on a restriction. So seeing whenever pitchers go down with Tommy John and the fact that it could be 2 years or even longer, like it does suck. It's a damn shame. But go Rangers. I got A-Rod, Rangers bobblehead back up here somewhere. Hey. Sammy Sosa, Ken Griffey Jr., but
cheaters.
Beefcakes. Moving into the National League, the best record in the NL with a plus 73 run differential are the Atlanta Braves. They have a 4.5 game lead over the Marlins. Max, anything on this division?
I'm still surprised that the Marlins are in second. I'm very shocked, especially because Sandy Alcantara, who is one of the most dominating pitchers in the game, he has shown that for the past 3 seasons. This is the season where he's having a really tough year. And the fact that he's doing terrible, but the Marlins are doing great, I'm shocked. I'm shocked. So, yeah.
I know I called you about Sandy a couple weeks ago, but phone wasn't answered.
You sent me a trade?
No, I was just talking about him, just bringing him up, seeing if he was available. But
I said no. Yeah, I said no. No, not happening.
Wilson, anything in the NL East?
No, sir.
Okay. Moving in NL Central. We got a tie at the top. First time we've had a tie. We got the Pirates and the Brewers sitting at the top. They got a 4-game lead over the Reds, 5.5 game lead over the Cubs, 7-game lead over the Cardinals. Kind of all mediocre teams here.
They're all there. I don't know who's going to win this division now. It makes you think that, it's the Brewers because their pitching staff is so good. But the fact that they haven't just gone away with it, you would think they would have by now because this division sucks. The Cubs are like, 25-34, and they're 5 games out.
Cubbies are sitting 28-36, 8 games below 500.
Yeah, and they're 5 games out. Shows you how much this division sucks, which is a bummer. Go Cubbies! Hey, go Cubs! Go Cubs, go.
A lot of Cubs fans.
But I'd still think that look out for the Cardinals. I keep saying it. There's only 7 games out. Look out for the Cardinals. There's no way that the Cubs and the Cincinnati Reds are going to be ahead of the Cardinals. Okay, the Cardinals are too damn good. Just give them some time.
Moving into the NL West, I think we got a surprise for everybody. We got the Arizona Diamondbacks at the top of the division with a 2.5 game lead over the Dodgers. The Diamondbacks have won 4 in a row, 8-2 in their last 10. Boy, a couple weeks ago, I sat on here. We did a Scuba Steve team deep dive on the D-backs. And I sat here and I said, they're making the playoffs, damn it. And look out, they're leading the division now.
Wow. Definitely a complete shocker. I go Diamondbacks. I love the Diamondbacks. I especially love the retro jerseys. I love the purple. What's up with the red and black? I love those purple jerseys.
Yeah.
There was no other team with purple in it. They had the purple. Bring that back. Come on.
Classic Randy Johnson.
Oh, man. What an awesome team. 2001? 2000? 20, it might have been 2002. Okay. It's around that area. Okay. Luis Gonzalez hit that game-winning hit, right? Just that little bloop shot that they knew that was it. That was awesome. What a
good old Luis. Good old Luis. moving into our second topic for baseball today, we got our top 5 players in our Yahoo Fantasy head-to-head categories league. And for the second week in a row, all 5 guys we've talked about already. At the top spot, we got Ronald Acuna Jr. Second, we got Freddie Freeman on my team.
Nice.
Then we got Luis Arias back up to number 3. Nathan Eovaldi at number 4 on my team. Let's not sleep. And then number 5 is Marcus Semien. Talked about all those guys already. So we got a new guy here at number 6, and I think I got a surprise for everybody. It's the 32-year-old starting pitcher for the Chicago Cubs, Marcus Stroman.
Hey, nice.
Yeah, this
Nice.
guy's in his 9th season. He was a 2019 All-Star, the only time he was an All-Star. This season, he's having a career year. He has pitched 85.2 innings, which is tied for 3rd in baseball. He has 7 wins, which is tied for 6th. He's a 2.42 ERA, which is by far his career best. And he has a 1.04 whip, which is top 5 in baseball and by far his career best.
Damn.
On May 29th versus the Tampa Bay Rays, he had an 8 strikeout shutout. Marcus Stroman is having a career year, looking like a top 5 NL Cy Young. Max, are you surprised?
Not at all. Not at all. Stroman is an excellent pitcher. Stroman. All right. Stroman was underrated in Toronto. Cubs signed him to a 3-year deal. I hope they sign him longer. I hope that's part of the plan. Just showing what he's doing right here. Man, what a beast. He is the leader on our pitching staff. The Cubs actually have a pretty okay pitching staff. Okay. No. Justin Steele is legit. Okay. Smealy, yeah, he's doing all right. Smealy had him. He's doing all right. The other guys actually, I mean, Kyle Hendricks is back, which I love Kyle Hendricks. So he just pitched an incredible game. But yeah, Stroman is the man. So let's not forget about him.
Wilson, anything about Marcus Stroman for us?
Not much. Kind of surprised after the talk that the Cubs were at the bottom of the division or close to the bottom, but happy that they got a great pitcher because I don't know much. I know that Chris Bryant, former Cubby, is on the Colorado Rockies.
Is
Not
he
anymore?
Is he though?
Well,
is he on
he's
the
always
Rockies?
hurt.
It's always hurt.
I've been to
Watching like us.
I've been to I think 10 games and never seen him there. Never seen him play.
Such a bummer. Such a bummer.
It is a bummer, but it's good for the Cubbies.
Yeah.
Moving in, if you're still hanging around with us here today on the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast, we got our last topic.
You better be.
We got our last topic, and damn it, it's some people's favorite of the week. We got the MLB's biggest beefcake.
The biggest beefcake. All right. So this week on the MLB's biggest beefcake, we have Juan Gonzalez. Okay. Juan Gonzalez was a beast back in the 90s going into the early 2000s. Nickname Igor. I don't know why they call him Igor. Okay, that's kind of sounds like they're dissing this guy. Was he ugly? You know, the Frankensteinish situation here. Okay, but still to this day, Juan Gonzalez ranks number 1 in 6 different offensive categories for the Rangers. Speaking of the Rangers, here we go again. Okay, in 1998, he had a .318 batting average, 45 home runs, 110 runs scored, and 157 RBIs. 100 RBIs he had 100 RBIs before the All-Star break that season. Whoa. When's the last time you ever heard anything like that? I think that's the only time I've ever heard that.
Whoa.
And this is why everyone thinks that he's the greatest Ranger of all time. But, and it's a big but, a B-U-T-T with not being able to button your pants and your cracks hanging out, that kind of butt. All right.
BBL.
Jose Beefcake Canseco. Man, what a big douchebag, by the way, Jose Canseco is. This guy's such a douche. Okay. He called out Juan Gonzalez in his book Juiced. Okay.
Of course.
Along with 4 other Rangers players who we already named on the biggest beefcake before: Alex Rodriguez, Rafael Palmeiro, Pudge Ivan Rodriguez, who was, once again, he's in the Hall of Fame. So it was never proven. He was never proven, but he was in his book Juiced. And also a guy that we're going to be bringing up later in another episode, Ken Caminiti. Okay, so that's 4 other guys, 5 total Rangers that we're talking about here that are considered beefcakes. Okay, now here is why he got caught, or here's how he got caught, is what I should say. Okay, when he was heading to Cleveland one game, all right, a piece of Juan's luggage was taken out of the Cleveland airport because it contained PEDs. There were PEDs in his luggage. Okay, and there was also steroid paraphernalia. So magazines talking about steroids.
Oh, what?
Yeah, what? I don't know. You just
Whoa.
read up on this stuff and just say, well, what kind of steroids should I get on the catalog this month? So one of Gonzalez's associates claimed this. Okay, so whoever was working with the Rangers organization, they found it and they said, "Oh shit, are you serious? Like, wait, this is one of it." He's another one of them. So because of this, he went on to the Mitchell report, and sadly, because of this instance, he is not in the Hall of Fame. Definitely Juan Gonzalez, was, I didn't take anything. I don't know how they got in there. Yep, as well as they all do, right? So let's just name some stats just to show how good of a player this guy was. He had a career 295 batting average, 434 home runs, 1,936 hits. He's a 2-time MVP, 3-time All-Star, which after looking at his stats, he should have been an 8-time All-Star. I don't know how he did not make the All-Star team. 8 seasons, he had over 100 RBIs and like 40 home runs. I don't. Okay, anyway, he is the home run derby champ and also a 6-time Silver Slugger. This guy is a stud. He was a stud on the baseball field. But hey, when you get caught with not only steroids inside your luggage, but also magazines talking about steroids, it's going to be very hard to make the Hall of Fame. So you guys got anything else on Juan Gonzalez? Juan Igor Gonzalez?
I'll keep it quick right here. There's no denying that you used the steroids when they were found in your luggage and you had paraphernalia about steroids. You ain't got no excuse. You can't hide that. You're a beefcake.
Beefcake. Big time beefcake. Juan Gonzalez.
Wilson, anything?
Nothing, but are there any documentaries out about the steroid era? Because I'd love to watch it, because there's so many people, those 4 people you named, never even heard of them. Or actually, no, I've heard a couple Rodriguez's.
Yeah.
But there's so many other people just out in the weeds that probably just get dismissed, get flicked to the side because they're no names. But what a crazy era that was.
Yeah.
So
Juiced.
It'd be interesting to see. Yeah, call it that, juiced, but not to confuse it with OJ.
Oh,
OJ
the juice.
That juice.
The juice was loose for OJ.
Yeah.
But that's gonna wrap up this week's episode of the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast. Hell of an episode. We had to take things out. We had more things on this rundown
We
than
did. We did.
Got to say for next week. This one was a thick boy, juicy topics. So much so that Queef Wilson, you said you put on your windbreaker. It was so juicy.
Oh yeah, make sure I don't get hit with anything.
Well, we appreciate you coming on here, broski. It's about damn time that you came on Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast. Anything you got for the people before you're out of here?
It was a great time. I'm glad to finally be on there. Hopefully it's not the only time or the last time, but watch out for the Colts. They're not going to do much, but they're going to surprise some people, I think. So just keep that. We got Andrew Luck back here. Just the memories. We got AR. He's an alien. So
they're not on my radar. They're not on my radar. So
you're a Bears fan. So
don't worry about it. Don't worry.
All
about
of our teams are in a bad spot.
Yeah, that's true too. But hey, everyone, thank you for coming out and listening to the Don't Tell Mama Sports Podcast here on a Sunday morning. Okay, we're thank you for bearing with us as usual. And hey, just like always, don't tell your mom about this. Okay, we already told you why we couldn't tell our mamas about this. I got the door locked. My mom's gone. I still think that she's gonna be knocking on the door. No, you don't want to be dealing with that.
Paranoia? A little paranoia there, huh?
Paranoia or paraphernalia?
Ooh.
With Juan Gonzalez.
Maybe both.
Maybe a little bit both. You don't want your mom finding that paraphernalia. I'll tell you that much. That might be worse than pornography.
Close.
That's a really awkward conversation.
I'm looking at my mama right here sitting in the chair. She's getting ready. She's getting ready to go.
Yeah,
I'm
she
looking
giving you
at her
the
right there. Oh no, no way. She's patient. She's patient.
yeah. That's good. That's good. Good mama. Good mama.
Always. Make sure everybody gives their mamas a kiss on the cheek next time you see her.